Okay, how was your K-pop adventure last year?
How was wait, I didn't hear the
If
question.
I could describe it
I didn't hear
in
the
2
question.
words,
She has to say it again.
how was our K-pop adventure last year?
How was our K-pop adventure?
Like,
Just
just
like-
how was last year with like
If I could
reacting
describe
to
it in
K-pop
2
and
words,
stuff?
one shot.
That was your only impression?
No, that was not my only impression. That was probably the most impressionable one though, because that one was like,
It's like
Wow,
everyone
you just
died.
answered one of the questions that I was gonna ask.
Ah!
hey.
I'm gonna have a much more nuanced answer.
Okay.
I'm gonna say familiar and also strange. Because like there were a lot of stuff about it that was like, oh yeah, I know that. And then, I mean it was in Korean, but also like some of the musical stuff they do, some of like the tropes that they have are so different than what we have. And so it was like a really cool experience to like have something that like we can relate to on like a musical and kind of like popular level. But then there's like the 70,000 other layers of K-pop always that are like not
No, that was a voice crack for the ages.
that are like not present in the American music scene.
Yeah. But then also I really liked watching some of the smaller groups who maybe weren't so
Oh, right, as popular.
popular.
Yeah.
Seeing who didn't have as many comebacks, who hadn't really like. I really enjoyed that because they also had a lot of cool things to offer.
Yeah, and kind of the difference between not necessarily the production value, but the production type. But like it was interesting to see the difference between like a really big successful famous group. I said sex.
You did.
It's really interesting to see the difference between like the big successful groups and then like some of the smaller groups who still have loyal fan bases, but it's not.
It's not huge yet.
Yeah.
And I think because K-pop is so produced, and it's in a large part company driven from what I understand, it's interesting to hear how the production plays into an artist's sound. And it was really interesting to see how some are really, really, really produced, and how some are definitely still produced to a high level, but like you said, have more creative
and
freedom
like
with it.
and even just like studio production. I mean, the sound difference between like ACMU and then someone like 7.
Exactly, yeah, and between different companies, you have different sounds going on. I would never compare.
Rather unique.
Oh, ACMU's, I love them so much. I love them. Vix and ACMU are like, and Mama Mia.
This?
Yep.
Was this like a heart or like a tit?
A little bit of both. Little bit of
like
the heart
this?
the heart for ACMU, the tit for Vix. Quote that is a T-shirt right there.
Yeah,
Heart for
that's gonna be my
ACMU,
new-
tit for Vix.
What are your top 5 favorite groups?
ACMU,
Yeah. Vix,
Vix. I'm into that.
BTS, Mamamoo.
Yeah.
So that's 4.
Day 6.
Yeah.
I think we have the same top
We have the
5.
same exact.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of groups who I really love.
It's a close.
Like none of these are like, oh fuck that guy.
Except for ACMU is a clear one for me.
Oh yeah, no, ACMU is like above and beyond. And like Vix and Mamamoo are like side by side.
Favorite vocalist or vocalists, like the timbre, your favorite timbre, timbre, and favorite rapper.
Do us like that. Well,
Favorite rapper is
I only know Ratmon.
Ratmon, yeah.
I think he is cool. His aesthetic is nice.
Oh fuck,
I like his fake cigarette
Like his
lollipop.
voice? No,
who
but
was?
like voice.
I don't know any rappers.
Wasn't there the rapper from Vix and
Ravi.
and the singer? Did
Wait, that guy.
Ravi.
Rapper from Vix.
I think Ravi is my favorite rapper. Faux.
Oh, I think someone from Vix is my favorite singer too. I just don't know any of their names.
Hold on, I'm just like trying to think.
You could just say like the overall group. Like
Hold on.
I think then.
There's a few really good ones in there that I'm trying to remember.
ACMU.
No,
All you gotta do
I
is
like
dirty.
ACMU, but I just
Their voices work, but they're not like mind blowing. It's
exactly.
like it's more of
their
the
music.
general. Okay.
It's their general.
But still, how
aesthetic.
you gonna do us dirty trying to ask us this question? Who was the guy who sang in the one where he cut out people's organs?
Leo.
God, that was some fucked shit.
Yeah.
That was some fucked shit, man.
Looking
I
back
wasn't
on my time
ready.
at K-pop, there were a lot of dead people. A lot of times I cried, and one weird video where they cut their hearts out. Actually, 2. But one time it was a robotic heart, and they were.
I have to say,
robotic.
generally, for versatility of singers, I'm gonna go with BTS.
Okay.
Like, just overall as a group, the versatility of their singers.
The reason I would like to clarify the reason I'm not going with Mamamoo, and that is because they are an amazing ensemble, but not one voice does not stick out for me in there.
Yeah. Same.
Which is good for them. It just means that.
And also
I can't
BTS
pinpoint.
focuses more on the individual.
Yeah.
Favorite song or songs? And like, do you listen to them outside?
I think the song that I like the best, that I would have the big. I don't listen to them outside of this usually because I don't have time to do anything other than sleep. I think the song that I like the best is the one where it was the old guy who said goodbye to his best friend and gave him a robot toy and then went out
I'm
to
Fine
war and
by
took
Romance.
Yeah, the one that made me sob the entire time. That one.
I think still my favorite jam is the one by XIA.
Flower.
That's some good shit.
Oh, that one.
It was so over the top that I
That
loved
better
it.
go in the video.
Like it was so over top that I loved it. That's the thing.
What are your favorite things to hear in K-pop composition?
Oh, variety. Mainly, like, okay,
I'm gonna be completely honest. I was expecting boys singing low notes.
no, but like two things. One, when the song isn't the same motif repeated over and over and over again. Like, as a non-Korean speaker, it's easy to get bored with a song
Cause there ain't no words.
if it's not musically entertaining. And when the same motif is played for the first chorus, the verse, the second chorus, the second verse, the bridge is like 2 seconds long.
And then we comment
and
on
then
the
we come
video
back to the
because
chorus.
there's no more music to comment on, and then everyone's like,
Why aren't they commenting on the music? And I'm like, cause there's not shit to comment on. I'm sorry, I try. I found that most artists, it's just gonna happen. You're gonna have a song like that no matter what you do. And it's not a bash on the artist. Those artists, I've seen other songs that have made great songs. But I think, a variety in the structure of the song. Instrumentation. Know your instrumentation.
I'm very pro like guitar more than like synth, just personally. So like, I know that's not the style of most K-pop. So like, I'm a little biased.
Well then on that same note, if you're gonna do guitar,
have a real guitar.
have a real guitar.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, numero 5. What was your most memorable music video and which one was your favorite one? Visual.
One shot.
Yeah, man.
And
One
then-
shot for days.
And then the other one shot.
Skydive.
Skydive.
Yeah. Wait, which one was that again?
The one where everyone died again. They just didn't redo it at the end.
Skydive. Free fall.
I remember the
The
music.
one
and I
where
remember the video.
the one where like they were in a gang and then
Like
someone
the
in the
sisters
gang,
cut
like,
up,
Oh.
cut up
his
body.
sister. And we were like,
Oh, yeah.
he's putting his face in the trash. Then we were like, dead body in the trash.
Yeah.
Holy.
Akmu, where she's in love with him.
Oh,
And then, like-
200% give love.
And then I
Yeah.
was like,
And then they're like brother and sister, but like not her.
Yeah.
That one was confusing, but it was cute.
Okay, last
Green
question.
apple
So,
butter
what was your first
heartache.
impression of K-pop music versus now?
What was our
Like-
first K-pop song?
like,
I thought, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
you started us off with that shit? Fucking hell.
I mean, with the impressions that you get of K-pop in America,
Yeah, I was about to say, not from this channel, like before having watched this channel.
yeah, it was actual music, right? Like, there's almost the idea of like K-pop is like, I don't know, like garage band loops practically, because it's just the same thing over and over again, because that's what like, I mean like Gangnam Style and all that shit where we just like made fun of it, because it was farcical, right? It was an absolutely absurd thing made for consumption and virality.
Yeah.
But like there's this whole treasure trove of music that we kind of ignore because of the stereotypes that we have of it.
Yeah.
And I think both of us, correct me if I'm wrong, definitely, I mean, had no way to disprove those until we did this channel.
And part of it is K-pop to me before this wasn't just like music. It was like
a genre of music.
It was like a genre of society.
Yeah.
Like it was this whole like ideology in South Korea that was like this thing, and there was like that was like in the way that almost celebrities like we have Western celebrity fandom kind of thing, almost
Yeah.
like that to that
it was
extent.
like I thought it was like one thing.
Exactly, beyond just music. Like it started
It
like
literally-
it was music, but it like was just a societal kind
Yeah.
of thing. And so the only, and people are gonna hate me for this, the only exposure to K-pop I had before this was Gangnam Style.
Yeah.
Like
I think
that was
most people in America
it.
have that same.
like,
I mean, it has what, like 48 billion.
and I just don't remember. I assumed everything was like that.
Especially for me, there was the idea it was like K-pop was like one thing.
Exactly.
Like one company or one group. I mean,
Oh,
obviously that logistically doesn't make sense, but I didn't, like...
You never needed to give it more thought than that.
It's literally just music that's popular in Korea, that's in Korean. Those are the only standards for it to be K-pop. And I feel like there's kind of a misunderstanding of like, it's its own genre, like it's completely different, and it's like
Exactly. And you
not.
Yeah.
And I mean, BTS got invited to like an American award show, and it was like a huge deal because like that's recognition from like a whole half of the globe that was just not, that was always like a subculture and was never mainstream. And the music is not like, it's not like the music isn't worthy of national attention and global attention, really.
I think it really just opened my eyes to not only the genre of K-pop, but the subgenres of K-pop as well. And there's just a lot. There's so much content.